So FC26 is finally here, and the big question is this a very different football game or just FC25 with a new coat of paint? And that's exactly why this game is going to divide the community harder than a referee giving a penalty in the 19th minute. Some players will swear this is the best single-player FC in years, thanks to Authentic Mode. Others will see it as the same old game with EA trying to charge us full price again for what feels like seasonal update. And so today my mission is to break it all down for you. The good, the ugly, and whether single-player FC26 is worth your money or it's just another yearly disappointment. And if you are into Ultimate Team, then make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on my next video where we will discuss FC26 experience in online multiplayer. Alright, let's dive first into FC26's most important part, the gameplay. And we've got to start here with Authentic Mode, because that's EA's big selling point this year. Now, a lot of people are saying that Authentic Mode is nothing more than slider set that we already had in FC25, just dressed up with a new name. And yeah, I'm kinda getting where they are coming from. Authentic indeed slows the game down by offering a set of sliders. It lowers the accuracy for passing and shooting, all that stuff that you would expect. But Authentic Mode is more than just sliders. There is also a separate toggle for authentic features, and that toggle actually makes a huge difference in how matches feel. Going back to FC25 actually, after playing FC26 on Authentic Mode was eye-opening. FC25 vanilla gameplay feels like, I don't know, 3 out of 10 arcade mess compared to this. Authentic in FC26, while absolutely not perfect and with some flaws that we will discuss later, is actually a solid, enjoyable football experience. It feels like a good mod slapped onto FC25, and I mean that in a good way. Now let's get into the details of FC26 gameplay and break it all down, the good first, and then the ugly. And it all begins with movement, which this year feels more grounded. Players don't glide around the pitch like hovercrafts anymore. There's more weight to their steps while still allowing quick turns. Running animations also look cleaner, but still kinda goofy. Some guys will still pump their arms like they are doing a TikTok dance challenge, and you will notice a bit of skating here and there. But to me, it's kinda okay-ish, like I can look past running animations right now and actually get lost in matches again, and that's a big win, cause I couldn't do it for the past few years. Passing also feels much better in FC26. I have way less situations where the ball goes to the wrong player. The chip through balls are also particularly useful this year, especially on counters. And here's one I love. Headers are finally back. Crossing from wings is finally viable again. Because in FC25, almost every header sailed harmlessly over the bar and was kinda meh. But in FC26 on Authentic Mode, if you've got a strong striker, you can actually play a crossing game. It adds variety and makes target man useful again. And for me, as I like this playstyle, that's a huge W. And if you want to actually play FC26 like a pro player, instead of just struggling with the new Authentic Mode or the Ultimate Team, then check out today's sponsor, SkyCoach. They offer one-on-one coaching with pro players to sharpen your tactics, positioning and decision making. Plus, if you don't have time to grind, they can help with season pass progression and other services like that. SkyCoach is trusted by over 150,000 gamers worldwide, has top reviews, and every order comes with an instant refund guarantee. Oh, and you can grab 10% off with my code MACHETE, link in the video description. Big thanks to SkyCoach for supporting the channel. Now let's get back to FC26 gameplay. So far we discussed the good stuff, but FC26 still has some major problems. So let's start with ball physics, which are flat out terrible. The ball floats like a balloon, especially on long passes and crosses. Like yeah, shots feel fine, they've got the bang to them, and that's okay. But whenever you try to switch play, the ball just hangs in the air forever, giving defenders all the time in the world to reset. It kills the flow, looks really bad, and makes crossing less effective than it actually should be, even with the header buff. And then we've got the AI. On your team, defenders are a bit smarter than they used to be, but still they are far from decent level. They are still obsessed with keeping the back line, but now at least the defensive line at least tries to mark some runners in authentic gameplay. But midfielders are still lost, not knowing if they should pressure the midfield or fall back to help with forwards. And there are some also weird inconsistencies when it comes to fullbacks. But on the opponent's side, well, once they are set in defense, they turn into prime Maldini. If you're countering, you can catch them off guard, but give them time to organize their defenses, and it's Catenaccio, perfectly structured, perfectly timed tackles, hard pressure. And goalkeepers are just as unbalanced as defenders. They are godlike against long shots, swatting away screamers from 20 few meters. AI in this game is really bizarre. And that brings us to the topic of variety, or rather the lack of it. Opponent teams feel basically the same no matter who you're playing. There's no tactical identity to teams that I could feel so far, and big part of it is that the AI's attacking patterns are very unimaginative, predictable, and it makes matches blend together. And when it comes to scoring, over time you will notice that goals start to look kinda samey, especially with goalkeepers making long distance shots in an efficient way to play. So basically you're always trying to get inside the penalty box to score, which kinda gets boring. And can anyone tell me, please, what the hell happened with fouls in FC26? I get like max 1 foul each match, and most of the time 0. It's kinda ridiculous, and I am surprised it wasn't flagged by any testers during earlier stages of development. See, I think part of the reason actually for the issue with fouls is that the computer defenders are picture perfect with their tackles, and so there are almost no fouls whatsoever against them. Alright, so here's my verdict on FC26 authentic gameplay. It's flawed, sometimes frustrating, and badly in need of modders on PC to step in and fix some issues. But despite all of that, it's the best vanilla EA football game we've had in years. The flow is good actually, the controls feel natural and responsive, and for once I don't feel like I'm fighting my own controller. It's not a revolution, but it's definitely a couple of steps forward, even though they took one step backwards in some areas. FC26 gameplay is also the step in the right direction, and for both console and PC players, that's fantastic news. And I am personally very curious to see what modders will be able to cook with that gameplay as we go further. Now let's talk about graphics. Visually, FC26 is a step forward, but it's not a leap. It's basically FC25 with a fresh haircut, sharper textures, more detailed players, and jerseys that actually move like fabric instead of rubber. Lighting is also way cleaner, giving matches a sharper, more natural look. Check out this footage of a match in cloudy weather during nighttime at Old Trafford. It's really impressive work. Color palette is also more natural this year. It basically feels like EA looked at the most popular PC reshade and graphic mods and just baked them straight into the game, which is great. That said, I'm still not sold on EA's art direction since FC24. The players sometimes look more like Pixar characters than real footballers. Technically, very solid, yes, but aesthetically, not fully my vibe. Now let's move on to performance. On PC the game holds up really well for me. Running it on Ryzen 5800X with an Nvidia card 3070 and 32GB of RAM, I am getting a solid 120 plus FPS on ultra settings with ambient occlusion set to high. at 1440p resolution. That's the good news. The bad news? Well, just like in every FC game for the past few years, set pieces tank the frame rate. Corners, free kicks, my FPS nosedives like a defender in the box. It's not game breaking, but definitely worth flagging if you are hoping for improvement in this area. Now let's shift our gears and talk about Manager Career Mode. This year EA added a new mode called Manager Live. Think of it like career mode, but more dynamic. We are supposed to get weekly challenges, evolving scenarios. It even allows us to unlock and add legendary players through a season pass system. So it generally seems like it's designed to shake things up and keep the mode fresh. Problem is that the mode itself seems to be buggy. First, all players on your team have black shoes and you cannot fix it by editing players. It just keeps reverting back to black shoes. It's kinda insane that the game made it live to early access with 1 week till release, with such basic issue present in the game. Then we have challenges that don't seem to work. For instance, there's a Relieve Ronaldo era in Real Madrid, but it seems like you can just play with modern Real Madrid squad, and Ronaldo, the Brazilian one, is not even on the list of icons to be unlocked, so what the hell, EA? Overall, once this mode is polished, I could actually see myself enjoying it. It feels interesting and fresh, at least for now, but EA, please fix it. And if you are more of a purist, the classic original career mode, as they call it, is still here. And for the most part it's, well, unchanged. You still build your team over multiple seasons, deal with board objectives, manage finances and develop youth players. There are a few minor tweaks here, like some small unexpected events happen as you go throughout the season, but it's basically the same long-term, stable experience we've had in previous years. We also got to talk a little bit about the smaller stuff, the quality of life changes in the game. Because to be fair, EA actually did a pretty solid job here. First off, you can finally turn off those annoying POV cutscenes. You know, the ones where you suddenly see through players' eyes or referees as he pulls out a yellow card. It's cool the first time, but gets boring really quick. Sadly, the forced hypermotion replays are still here, so we are not yet totally free from those weird replay things in cutscenes. Gameplay sliders got a nice upgrade too. Now you can actually tweak things like header accuracy, tackle forgiveness, interception errors, and more. It may sound like a small thing, but honestly, the more control we have over the gameplay, the better. There's also simplified skill moves option added to the game. This makes dribbling way easier for players who struggle with right stick skills, or for accessibility reasons. But I don't recommend this to anyone who can actually dribble. It takes away most of the skills available in the game and adds few quite simple ones. I tried it once and immediately wanted to turn it off. And there are more additions like that to the game, like turning off stadium or player shadows. Overall, I've never seen this much depth in customization when it comes to EA football game. For once, you can really tune the game to your liking, and that's awesome. Of course, it wouldn't be an EA release without bugs, and FC26 has unfortunately plenty of them. If you enable, for instance, simplified skill moves, it can get bugged and stays on whether you like it or not. Menus can randomly freeze, forcing a full restart of the game. My controller even stopped working during some matches, but it still worked in pause menu, which was weird and infuriating, especially in Ultimate Team Match. And remember that Live Manager Career mode I mentioned earlier? Yeah, that one shipped with the black boots bug, which I mentioned before. Individually, these are not catastrophic problems, but stack a few together in one session, and it starts to feel less like a finished product from a major corporation, and more like an early access build from an indie studio. So, would I recommend FC26 to single-player fans? Actually, yes. For the first time since FIFA 22, I feel like EA's football game is genuinely worth our time. I've had a lot of fun with it so far, despite its flaws. And once the modding community gets rolling on PC, it's only going to get better. It's also the first release in years where the series feels like it's moving in the right direction with gameplay, instead of getting worse year after year. And honestly, with the lack of real competition in the market, that alone makes it worth giving a shot. But now I want to hear from you. What's your take on FC26 single player experience? Are you having fun with the game, or do the flaws outweigh the improvements? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.